Hello and welcome to Talking Good Game. It's just finished Norwich City 0, West Ham United 4. Gonzo, I can't believe it.
I'm sure you
5
can't.
subs!
It was 5 subs actually. It's funny because when it was actually when I write down 66 minutes, I've written down get Antonio off. So I actually, it was still, I think, 70 minutes. He hadn't done one. I'd maybe done 71 or something like that. But yeah, we got there in the end with a sub.
Anyway, let's talk about the game. This is a good game to talk about, isn't it? It didn't take long, did it? 11 minutes we were first to take the lead. From a corner, in comes ball in from Bowen, flicked on by Diop, and a striker's finish again. We've spoken about Antonio being like striker's positioning, if you like, and we'll get, and you know, some of his other goals were striker's positioning, but this was very much what I would call a striker's finish. It was sort of going away from the goal with his back to the goal, but volley, and it was decent.
Yeah, and high into the goal as well, which is, you know, you're not saving that. It's not one of the, you know, sometimes you hit those directly at the keeper and it can bounce off the keeper's chest. You know, it was just, yeah, really, really well executed, and delighted. I was absolutely delighted by that point. But we'd started off by getting into space so much with the players. I was unbelievable how fit the players looked, actually. I expect them to be tired, and apart from one or two, they were looking really, really fired up and really fit. And I don't know why I've got a wooden spoon in my hand. I've no idea. And probably more so. I don't know why. Antonio, I thought Antonio would be more tired than anyone, but crikey, the geezer had some energy today.
Yeah, I mean, we made it 2-0 at the end of the first half, but prior to making it 2-0, you know, Norwich had a little bit of the ball, which makes us all nervous because it was only 1-0 up, but we still had some really big opportunities. So check with the volley, Antonio with his head, his knock on from Creswell's cross. We were looking good, even at 1-0.
Oh, I mean, it could have been 6 or 7-0, and I don't even mean by the end. Actually, by the point we'd scored the second goal, we probably should have had 4 or 5 by that point. Yeah, I mean, they touched the ball a couple of times, Norwich, and but the game was never in doubt, and the game was never in threat at all at any point. We were much better than them. They couldn't really find a way to attack us. They hadn't highlighted our weak areas, but not just that. I often wondered how was Moyes going to deploy Noble. Well, we found out pretty quickly, and basically, it's not a position you see now. Really, or it's called different names, but basically Noble played as an inside left forward there, and when Norwich got the ball, we had 3 players down our left. So I mean, you highlighted Max Aarons at the start, how he likes to get forward. Well, he'd have had a lot to do because he'd had to go through Noble, Fornals and Cresswell, and I looked at it, and it actually tactically it's quite crude, as well as Noble played when he got on the ball, but actually from a defensive thing it's quite crude. But I thought, okay, well, there's your answer to how Moyes is going to sort out the full-back problem on that side. I thought, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, really. I thought he wasn't even a number 10. You go back and you watch the first half hour of that game, he is playing as a left forward, even inside of and Fornals is even further back. Weird, almost 2 left fullbacks at the start. But you know what, needs must, I guess, and it sort of worked. But we were rampant in the first half, mate.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, do we mean it 2-0? Antonio again, obviously, but a free kick. Martin will float in, and it's not a free header. He's got 2 Norwich defenders on him, but it's almost a free header because the Norwich players don't really get anywhere near it, do they? It's a nice little flick on by Antonio, and it's 2-0, and it's, even though it's only half time, it did feel a bit like game, set and match at that point, because I know you're saying we could have scored 6 or 7. I don't think we could have scored that much, but I do think we could have scored 3 or 4 anyway, in that first half itself. But it's very comfortable. But at half time, what were you thinking?
They were struggling from our set plays, which is, we highlighted it before the match. We highlighted it in the last game, and it is clearly going to be a feature. And when you talk about Antonio with the header, yeah, he was contested, but it's going to be it's so hard for opposition teams, because actually you've got to make sure Diop's marked, you've got to make sure Souček's marked, you've got to make sure Ogbonna's marked, and there's all these big guys like Declan Rice as well. We saw in the previous game crash a header against the frame of the goal. You've got all these big guys to mark, and you've only got so many players, unless you're Tottenham or something, you've only got so many big players in your team. So basically probably the two people that they had. I couldn't tell you who was marking Antonio, but possibly they. Sorry,
their centre back. It was him.
Right. Well, mate. Well, then he'll be disappointed about that. But you're not going to have 5, 6 people in your team who are good at heading, and if the team is going the way I think it's going, that's what you're going to need to do when you play West Ham. But at half time, do you know what? Enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. I was having a lot of fun watching it. I was looking forward to the second half, and I was looking forward to more attacks. Brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Mate. I know Norwich crap, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very comfortable. I think Moyes got it spot on, to be honest with you. Even the lineup, I was worried about lineup, and when the game started, within 30 seconds, Noble ran up. Noble was very much like, I am a second striker here, and he ran up front. I thought, oh no, he is playing in the number 10 role. But I actually felt we almost went toe-to-toe with them man for man. It says, we are better than you. So if 7 of our 11 players are better than your ones on a one-on-one battle, we'll win today. And I felt like we went and done that. And to be honest with you, I think we won nearly every individual battle on the pitch. I think Mark Noble went toe-to-toe with Ben Godfrey, the right centre-back. He said, I'm going to mark you. Antonio's going to mark the other one. So when you get the ball, you're going to either have to boot it to Pookie, who's got absolutely no chance against our defence, or you're going to have to go back to Tim Krul. And when you do, he's going to have to boot it to Pookie, who's still got no chance. I just thought we were much physically taller than them, that we pat in the middle when we had to, and said you can put the ball out wide, but when you're out wide, what you're going to do, you can't cross it, because we're winning every single header in here. And I just thought it was very comfortable. A couple of times at 1-0 when Norwich went forward, I got a little bit nervy because we were trying to pass it into the box, and I thought Solchek had made a silly foul on Pookie that wasn't given and stuff, and they had a free kick, and but once that second one was in, any nerves I had was just calm. I thought we were looking really, really good. I thought the players were up for it. I thought we were passing the ball about, we were looking comfortable, we were looking confident. We didn't look like a team in a relegation battle, actually. I have to, but for context, I thought Norwich were awful from the first minute. I thought they'd come out fighting. They came out, but they didn't come out fighting. They came out with no belief, no confidence, and it looks like they're ready for just giving up the season altogether a little bit. It's difficult when you're down the bottom, but I expected a bit more from Norwich today, actually. It was the perfect people for us to play, but you can't take anything away from that. We went out, we sucker punched them early on, and we just kept on going at them. Second half though, 53 minutes 8 minutes into the second half, we made it 3-0. Mark Noble with his second assist of the game, let's just say he was a second striker in the number 10 role or whatever. He turned into Dennis Bergkamp almost. A little ball over the top, fantastic first touch by Antonio, good save by Krul, and Antonio beats Godfrey, I say in the air. He just reacts really quickly, Antonio, doesn't he? He just loops it into the net. 3-0 up.
Yeah, well, pointless me describing it again there. You described it perfectly, but I like the way he took the almost took the pace off the header, so he was almost leaning back. But how much of it he meant, I don't know. But I just, I was really pleased with how Mark Noble was playing, actually. It was, he had a good game, really good game today, and yeah, I mean, just on Norwich there, it's okay. It's okay for them. I'm mindful that a team has been relegated today at our hands, and it ain't nice. But we needed it, and obviously we're more important than Norwich because we're West Ham fans. But they'll be all right as well because they've got such a young team, and they look to they'll build. They don't need to build to the future. It's already there. It's all sorted out. They're ready to come straight back up. And they've not overspent Geo either. They've not got themselves in trouble. So they're going to be one of the. They're going to have a really good look. They've not won many games this season. They have a really enjoyable season next season because they win lots of games and they're going to contest the championship. For us, that was just massively important, and I just thought we were such a threat. And the amount of time Souček was drifting into attacking positions. You could even take Antonio's goals away, and if it was another 4 goals that had gone in through somebody else, Antonio still had played well today because I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Everything he tried, he can look a bit cumbersome sometimes. His technique don't always come off, but actually today, even when he was drifting wide and knocking it past people and dribbling and trying, actually everything he was doing was really good, and all his skills came off as well as his goals. He linked the passing up well. I mean, there were 4 or 5 very, very good performers today.
We made it 4-0. Antonio got his 4th, but some good play down the right-hand side as well. That shouldn't be overlooked.
Yeah, I thought, again, Noble, really good, because it looked like the play had broken down, and then Noble had seen the run that Fredericks was making, and then he played him in. Really, really nice ball, and at the And at the point where I thought Fredericks had gone too far. And then he picked him out, and he picked him out really, really well. And I know it was only the finish was only from 3 yards, but that was a striker's finish. That was. I bet he does that all the time in training. I bet they all do that sort of little nonchalant flick off off the side foot that just it's there. Again, it took the keeper out of the equation as well, so easy to flick that against the goalkeeper's body or whatever. Really, really good. But I really like the move actually. As I say, Noble, lovely ball. Fredericks got his head up, which he doesn't always do. Saw Antonio. I thought he was actually going to pull it further back.
Souček was a mark. I thought he made the wrong pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, cut it back, and then he took another touch, and I thought, cut it back, and then he puts in this insane. Yeah. I'm like, all right, okay. But maybe I'm a bit biased because I needed Souček to have 2 shots on target, and he'd already had one. So I saw Souček 8 yards out, unmarked. I'm like, pass it. But good.
Unforgivable then. If he ruined your bet, that is unforgivable.
He has. He never had another shot.
We'll mark him down in the player rating afterwards.
My 14-1 so it's all right. But it already won before this point. But it would have just been nice for that shot one to happen as well. I stopped writing stuff down at this point. I don't even know what time. That fourth one went in because I was enjoying it so much I stopped writing any sort of notes. I don't even know what subs were done. I know we'd made 5 but I didn't write anything down, but it finished 4-0. But that goal Antonio scored, he scored 4 today, but they're all different. They're all completely different goals is what I like. The first one's like a really smart finish, the second one is the header, the third one is the run. He times his run to perfection because do you know when it happened and went in I thought, oh please don't have this ruled out because it's such a nice 3-0, nice goal, and then you see it and he's about half a yard on side and stuff, but he's timed his run. But the first touch is just utterly brilliant. The one thing he can be sort of not so great at sometimes is his first touch, but his first touch just gives him that 6-yard run in on goal. It's onto his right foot, he doesn't have to break his stride, he shakes off Ben Godfrey. It's a good save by Krul. Should he be finishing it? Maybe, but it's just a really good save by Tim Krul. He goes the right way and gets his arm to it, but the instinct to then jump up and head it with I don't know, half a second reaction time or something is brilliant. And then he follows it in as well. So it's not like he's headed it and stood still. He's followed it in to make sure that if it's whatever reason not going in, he's going to put in. Then the fourth one's all about his positioning. He sees Fredericks' run, he gets in front of his man, stands there and says, you find my feet, we score. It's as simple as that, really. I'm in the right bit. I've done my job. You do your job. 4 goals from him, and 4 different goals as well. He's added variety to his game, if you like. But finished 4-0. I'm going to say, where's it gone wrong, Gonzo? Where's it gone right today? Everything went right, but in particular, what were you impressed with?
The set plays. The fitness. Apart from Rice today. Who I thought... Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Rice has had a bad game, but I thought Rice looked tired today. But that was okay, he could. I was gobsmacked at how Antonio was running around. I was gobsmacked at Souček. I was gobsmacked at Bowen. I thought these are guys that have just played a lot of games. I thought the inclusion of Mark Noble was it turned out the correct decision, even though, I'll hold my hands up and I thought it was the wrong decision. As I say, I think the tactic is really crude to think, how are we going to stop them going down the wing? I know we'll put 3 players down there when they get the ball. I mean, it's a paint by numbers tactic, really, but it worked. And then when we did get the ball, he was up there almost as a second striker. And I think, as well as doing that, it's a position for Noble where he gets Noble into the team, but he's not required to do the running that a central midfielder has to do. So I'd be really interested to see. I guess he came off, didn't he? So he wouldn't be totally reflective. But up to the point where he went off, I bet he ran less distance than the central midfielders did. And that's obviously going to be key if you're going to keep him in there. I thought just everywhere we played really well. Two chances. One of them was snuffed out by a lovely interception from Diop. Just blocked it, and then that was that. And there was another one where they came down Frederick's side and the ball came over, and I think it might have been Titty. He tried to do a little flick thing and it just went wide. And on other days that could have gone in the goal or forced Fabianski to do a save, but it went wide. They didn't have an awful lot going. I mean, they were terrible, but that's okay because this was one of our winnable games because we were playing a terrible team. But I do I do think it carried on the sort of upward curve of us gradually starting to attack more since. Um, it's quite funny actually. I do wonder how much of the shackles have come off, in as much as our plight was so desperate that Moyes has almost felt he could turn us into a set piece team, because that's what we're becoming.
Yeah, but when not before today, I'd imagine they are top now. But before today, Norwich were second for conceding set pieces in the league, and we've really taken advantage of that. But we look dangerous every time we get a corner. Every time Bowen takes a corner, you're looking at that thinking, we're winning the first header. It's just a case of can we get on header, or can we get the header on target, or can we then get the second ball like we've done for the first goal. So every time we get a corner, I'm quite confident that we are going to win the first one, and it's quite exciting. And it's quite funny actually. Our second goal was from the free kick, but there was a couple of free kicks before that. I thought they were a bit lofted. The ball was going in too, and I thought there's no need for this. Like, we've got so much big people in there. You can see Mark Noble shouting at Solchek often. He would scream Thomas, and he would just chip it. It's almost like how Andy Carroll always used to want it. You often seen Carroll just saying, just put it in there and let me go 50-50 with the guy. And I think that's what we're doing now. I think we're now saying, if I just put it in there and give you a 50-50 battle, you should win, because you are just big. But I thought it was brilliant. I thought our tactics were really good. I actually think Noble did a lot of running today. I think he did more than Rice. I don't think he done more than Solchek, because Solchek is like box to box. But I thought Noble was, whenever a centre-back had the ball, he ran out and chased it down to Tim Krul, which I have to say, Norwich were just so... When they had it at the back with their centre-backs, they almost let Noble run up to him, and then he thought, I'm going to have to turn around now, rather than trying to move it quicker. But then he would retreat back a bit as well if he had to. He'd get back and help out for Niles or whatever, and I just thought he occupied the space well. I know that's such a backhanded compliment, but it was quite important today, actually, Martin Noble just being in the territory, so Norwich couldn't really play the ball. And he was also urging the team forward a lot. There was a few times where he would run up and they would do a simple pass. You could see him turn around to everybody, whoever, and saying, why are you not up here? Get up here, everybody, get up the pitch, and let's just go toe to toe with them a little bit. I think we had belief that Norwich weren't that good, and I think we were a bit more braver kind of thing, and said, well, what are you going to do? You're probably not going to do anything, so we'll go toe to toe. But I thought Moyes got tactics right, got the team spot on, that the players turned up really well. Happiness all around. You can almost taste survival now, can't you? You know it's going good when Watford are losing 1-0 but turn around to lead 2-1 and you don't really care.
Sure, yeah.
That's when you know you're playing pretty well. That's when you think, oh well, it's alright, it's not the end of the world. Anyway, individual performers, there's a few of them. Keep your man of match till the end, although I think we know who it's going to be. But individual performers.
Bowen was really good. Obviously got the not the assist, was it? Because Diop flicks it on, but you know what I mean. Pivotal from that first corner, as you say. The set plays as well, and he was, something you were worried about, that he wasn't getting his goal scoring positions. He got into 2 good goal scoring positions today, so that was really well. I mean, I loved what Antonio did. Very flicked him through, and he ran on through, and he shot just wide. So that's great. Another good game from him. I'm actually excited for next season to get a pre-season in and to see Bowen, because he's a really integral part of the team, and it's been a number of games in a row where he's played well, and also Souček a number of games in a row where he's played well, and he just kept on getting in there, and he is going to be an absolute menace. And I think if Moyes does stay, if I was Moyes, I would almost. I know it's not beautiful, and I know it's not really what we wanted, and when we appointed Pellegrini and this, that, and the other, and it's possibly not the West Ham way, but I'd be sorely tempted to almost buy one more tall player. And just, and I'm not saying always launch it long, I'm talking about for set plays, because actually I thought we were passing it quite nicely at the floor, but I don't know if you can make one of the full-backs tall, or there's a tall attacking midfielder or something like that, just one other geezer that's sort of 6'2" plus, and then make the whole league. I've always said this, Joe, give the opposition something to worry about. Always give them something to worry about. Don't even, and I liked the way we were getting corners. I thought Cresswell and Fredericks didn't have to defend today. So that's okay, and I think Antonio can take a large part of the credit from the moment very early in the game he skipped past Jamal. He skipped past Jamal. Did he skip past Jamal? No, he didn't. No, he was on the left. I think he skipped past Aaron's actually, very early in the game, and I think he did it quite easily, and quite possibly they then thinking, hold on a second. At that point we had 4 people on the left. I remember looking at it thinking, wow, we've got a lot of people on the left hand side of the pitch. But Cresswell was getting forward and crossing well. And I thought Fredericks obviously clearly got an assist at the end, started getting forward more as the game went on. But anyway, that's. I'm not going to say anything negative. They attacked. They attacked is what I'll say. On that one, is that okay to say they attacked? Yeah, that's quite positive. It might just be a fact. I thought Diop and Ogbonna. I almost don't want to praise the centre halves.
They didn't have
because
much to do.
No, that's exactly it. But Diop did his challenge well. Yeah, there you go. I thought Fornall's a bit brighter than we've seen him last few games, but again, I think you've got to take the opposition into context. But actually, I do think there are 3 players there in Souček, Bowen, and Antonio who've actually been playing well pretty much since the restart. So yeah, a good day at the office, mate.
Yeah, I thought Bowen was just. The second half he faded a little bit. I thought, when you talk about tiredness, I thought some of our players did show it because we'd already punched the living daylights out of Norwich. They didn't have anything, so we didn't really get exposed for our fatigue, if you like, because they weren't running at us or nothing. We were It was that bad or that good. The BT were playing Olays on the count noise. Did you have count noise?
Yeah, and they booze when we scored to mimic the Norwich fans booing. Yeah, that was good.
But we were passing about, and the crowd noise was doing Olays. I was like, I've not heard that on anything, even watching Man City. But I thought because we were able to spend the last 15-20 minutes of the game just passing it covered up any fatigue we might have had. But I thought Bowen in the first half was just. Jamal Lewis couldn't handle him. He was in sizzling form, but he was unlucky not to score as well. And I'm glad he had that shot in the second half. I know it pissed Noble off because he made the run behind him and he should have passed it. He was facing away from goal 20 yards out and it flew over the bar. But that's what I want. That's what you want from your attacking midfielder. You want someone that's going to have a shot and stuff. Souček looks dangerous. I thought Fornals played really well, actually. It's all very well being good at set pieces, which we are, corners and free kicks, but you've got to win them. You've got to win free kick outside the box in order to attack them. You've got to get into positions to then gain corners to then attack from them. And I thought we'd done that. I thought Noble I assume it was our second goal come from it when Buendia came out the box. Noble chipped it and just waited for Buendia to stick his leg out and did the world's biggest dive. But it was a free kick, and we were just buying free kicks off them almost, thinking, well, as soon as you foul us, because we're going to whip this ball in, and you're in trouble here. I thought Creswell done well given all the pressure he's had on him, if you like. I thought he played really well. I thought Rice done okay. The first, it was early on, 5-10 minutes in, I think it was Pookie might have had the ball, and Rice went flying in on him. It was a really tough challenge early doors, and I thought, this is what we want. 5 minutes in, it's like, bang, there you go, setting the tone already. That is, we're up for this.
And came away with the ball
as well. So I think someone came and took it off Rice or something and turned around, and I thought, this is what we need. A nice, hard, solid tackle early doors that says, we're up for this fight, and if you ain't, we're going to steamroll you. But Norwich were just poor. They were really, really bad. And I feel a bit sorry for them, really, because as soon as it went 1-0 up, you could just see them all like, let's just get this over and done with kind of thing. But good day at the office. But your man of match, please. I think it's a pretty obvious one, but I think he deserves a little bit of plaudits and a little bit of time on his own.
He does, but before I give him some time on his own, I just want to say I thought Noble played really, really well today. I thought he was tremendous, actually, and he was really good. I mean, Antonio, I don't really know what you can say that we haven't said already, but scoring 4 goals in the Premier League is hard. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. Scoring 4 goals against Norwich is not that easy. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. And he has almost earned. Did he play against an inferior opposition today? Yes, but he has earned that from the way he's played since we've returned. Antonio was always going to be one of, if not the most important player post-lockdown. Nobody really expected what was going to happen to Sebastian Haller to happen. But it did, which put even more pressure on Antonio to score goals at a rate that he doesn't normally score them and to be a threat. He had to do that. He had to remain fit, which is always difficult. He's basically done everything that's been asked of him, Antonio, and today was his reward. And he looks like a striker to such an extent that Glenn Hoddle, who was doing the commentating, actually commented that Antonio can also play wide sometimes. So there you go. So even Glenn Hoddle thinks he's a striker rather than someone that plays wide who's playing a little bit in the middle at the moment. How fantastic, great attitude, and didn't want to come off. I wrote down after 66 minutes, get Antonio off. He'll be pleased that he didn't, because after that he scored a goal. Exactly what minutes you didn't know, and I don't. But he scored a goal after that. I think it's absolutely brilliant, mate. I'm really chuffed, and that's what happens when you work hard. Sometimes, don't always, but if you work hard, you get your rewards, and he got them today.
I'm just impressed by his fitness more than anything. I wouldn't have started him today. I said it in the preview, I don't mind saying it again. I would probably wouldn't have started him today, just out of fear that he's going to break down at some point. But he was just a handful. Even if you take away his goals, he still had a really good game as well. Klose couldn't get near him. He was on that touchline. He had, well, to be fair, I still think the ball went out for a throw-in. But my point is, he still took it past him. Then he actually wrapped his arm around the defender's waist and went down and got a free kick. The defender didn't touch him. You can see the defender looking like, what's going on here? But Antonio played him like a mug. And it's no surprise that when it was 2-0, the same guy who was marking him for the header didn't want to touch him in the box, because he thought, well, I'm not going to go near him because he's just gone and sold me out on the touchline, and I didn't even touch him. But I just thought he was brilliant. I thought his movement was brilliant. His hold-up play was brilliant. I'm glad he got taken off for a rest, and he keeps his place for the Burnley game, the Watford game, and I know he won't be too happy with it, but assuming we get a point from that and we're safe, I'd probably leave him out for one of the other two games, just purely as a no point to risk you kind of thing. But he's got 1 year left on his contract, so he's almost playing for a new deal at the minute. Yeah, he's only got 1 year to go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got 1 year to go on his contract, and obviously he's the wrong side of 30 and stuff, so he's got a big case to prove, and he needs to be in the Premier League to get that new deal, doesn't he, to keep his wages so high and stuff. And so he's gone out there and really put in a big, massive statement in order to earn himself a new 3-4 year deal on decent wages at a Premier League club next season. So 4 goals, what's that, 6 goals in 4 games for him or something, as a striker. And they're strikers' goals as well that he's scoring. They're not just like bumbling in or long range efforts or anything. He's showing a bit of a striker instinct, I have to say. I'm very, very impressed by Antonio. Very impressed by West Ham today. And any final words from yourself, Gonzo?
Well, just that final one on Antonio. Look, Moyes says he wants to. He's indicated he might want to buy players from the Championship. There's not going to be a whole lot of players in the Championship better than Mikel Antonio. I can tell you that much. If you think someone's going to come in, whatever, Ollie Watkins comes in, he's going to score whatever 4 goals in 6 or whatever, 6 goals in 4 games, whatever the case may be. Not necessarily. I'm not saying don't go out and buy one, but actually Antonio's making a good case at the moment that what we thought might happen, which actually reverts back to the wing, that may not happen. Antonio may well be our striker for the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, he might change that strategy. Instead of going and getting an Ollie Watkins, you go get an Eze instead and say, well, now Antonio's now a striker, I'll get an extra attacking midfielder in so we can leave him as a striker.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, maybe he'll buy a fullback. You never know. But sorry, that's it. We've done everything, haven't we? Man of the match.
We're safe. Do you think? That's just?
Oh, mate, we've been
6 points. 6 points clear of Bournemouth with an invisible point. I mean, that goal difference today is just really. We already had a big goal difference, but that's really just confirmed. They can't catch us on goal difference. I think Bournemouth and Villa, no chance.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not. It's not a concern. It's just not a concern. We can enjoy the rest of the weekend. I wouldn't be worried about it, and enjoy the rest of the football, mate. You know what I mean? And hopefully start looking forward to next season. Obviously, there'll be some people who, until we're mathematically safe, won't stop worrying.
It depends on Bournemouth Villa tomorrow. They both get beat. I think that's it. But if they both win, then it's a case of, all right, we've got to go again next weekend, kind of thing. But one of them's got Leicester. The other one's got Crystal Palace. Villa's got Palace. But they can't score a Villa. At some point, the guy read out the stats, didn't he? He said the teams in the bottom 3 have played 16 games. They've got 3 points, no wins, 3 points, and they've only scored 6 goals or something in 16 games between them. I mean,
yeah, but they've got a bit of an issue. And as much as I think if I was in their position, I'd start worrying about conspiracies and all the rest of it. Because even if they do win that, then West Ham and Watford could both go out and play for a draw. which may well give him the edge, which suits Moyes and suits Pearson. Keeps the goal difference.
Well, I think I might back 0-0.
Well, you know, I'm just saying. I think if I was one of those, if I was Villa or Bournemouth, I'd be very, very worried about that occurrence happening. And
that's a good point. There,
I wouldn't blame them for worrying about it.
Literally, a good point both ways. But anyway, we're going to disappear. If you enjoyed the review, drop a like on it. West Ham 4 goals from Mikel Antonio, possibly safe in the penalty, not too far away. Let us know what you thought in the game in the comments below. Subscribe new around here, and myself and Gonzo. When's the next game? Friday. We play Watford Friday. I think it's Friday.
Is that? Oh, we got a midweek off.
Yeah, but we'll have to do a cup of tea or something. We've got to do the mug of tea.
No, yeah.
We've got lots of videos.
I meant the team more than
us. I think it's Friday. The next game.
Our fitness is not under consideration, Geo. It's not undoubt.
I would have been questioning my fitness if we didn't win today. I would have very much been questioning that. But anyway, like it, subscribe, and we'll catch you in a bit.